Liberal Viewer presents.
So the second clip I ever uploaded to YouTube before I even began adding narrated commentary to my videos was a clip I titled Gitmo is the Anti-Statue of Liberty, because it included New York Times columnist Thomas Friedman on Face the Nation saying,
Guantanamo Bay, Bob, has become the anti-Statue of Liberty. It's something that terrorist groups and our opponents all over the world now use to energize themselves. You can't keep holding people indefinitely. If they're guilty, let's try them and put them in jail. If not, let's send them home. But keeping this here as a kind of beacon of the denial of our best values, I think, is absolutely the worst possible thing to do.
And that was true back in July 2006 when Thomas Friedman said it there, and it was even more true back in November 2008 when, after the election of President Barack Obama, I made a video defending Obama from a baseless Fox News attack on him for making the important promise you can see here.
I've said repeatedly that I intend to close Guantanamo, and I will follow through on that.
Now, President Obama's promise there was clear and repeated, which was why it was so disappointing last week to see President Obama issuing an executive order on the periodic review of individuals detained at Guantanamo Bay that makes plain these detentions are going to continue indefinitely, including, quote, law of war detention if it is necessary to protect against a significant threat to the security of the United States, unquote. And to add insult to the injury of this obvious broken promise from President Obama, I had to listen to Jon Stewart on The Daily Show last week mercilessly mocking my liberal reaction to President Obama's broken promise, beginning in this clip.
We turn now to liberals. Now, you might have noticed today that the chai lattes at the free trade lesbian coffee houses at Berkeley have been flying at half cup. It's been a difficult 24 hours for our nation's left-leaning individuals. It's the subject of our new ongoing series, Move On. Aww.
Now, despite that mocking from Jon Stewart there, I think this segment from The Daily Show really ended up focusing in on the most important disappointment in President Obama's executive order, the part where Obama continues to hold prisoner at least a few people where there's not enough evidence to even charge them under military commissions, and even a non-lawyer like Jon Stewart can see the problem with imprisoning people without evidence, as he explained here.
I'm not a lawyer. I'm neither Jacoby nor Myers. But I always thought the point of evidence was that if you didn't have enough, you're not allowed to keep them in prison. It's one of the many differences we have in this country between prisons and zoos. You don't really need anything on an aardvark.
And I think that really gets to the crux of the matter, because the right to a jury trial really does separate the way we treat people in prisons from the way we treat animals in zoos, and that right is actually so fundamental that when James Madison proposed the amendments that became the Bill of Rights to the U.S. Constitution, he argued, quote, trial by jury cannot be considered as a natural right, but a right resulting from the social compact which regulates the action of the community, but is as essential to secure the liberty of the people as any one of the pre-existent rights of nature. Unquote. And that's why, even though I supported Barack Obama as the best electable politician running for president in 2008, I put much more time, money, and effort into supporting the American Civil Liberties Union, a nonpartisan organization which, as you can see on the webpage at aclu.org/indefinite detention, fights for the right of those accused to confront the evidence and charges against them, whether the president holding them prisoner is a Republican or a Democrat, which is the kind of principled refuge I need when I'm disappointed by the broken promises of pragmatic politicians, though, honestly, whatever you think of the importance of the principle, just from a pragmatic national security perspective, the symbolism of the Guantanamo prison does more damage to the United States than the prisoners themselves could ever do, as Thomas Friedman recognized again way back in July 2006 in one of the first clips I uploaded to YouTube, saying,
I think the damage that Guantanamo is doing to our image and status across the world is much worse than if you opened the whole place and let all these guys go.
So what do you think? Does giving up on the rights of those accused to confront the evidence and charges against them do more to hurt U.S. national security than it would to just release the prisoners against whom there's insufficient evidence? And regarding the principle itself, do you agree with James Madison that the right to trial by jury is as essential to secure the liberty of the people as any one of the pre-existent rights of nature?
YouTube, you decide.